one day. Sit back, just listen and think one day. Yo, what up? It's your boy Wit, and I'm back with another episode of Thoughtz with Wit. And on this episode of Thoughtz with Wit, I'm going to be talking about 2Pac's All Eyez on Me 30th anniversary. Now, it's hard to believe that this album is 30 years old, you feel me? That's crazy, man. I'm getting old, son, you know what I mean? So, like, it's crazy how fast time flies, you know what I'm saying? So, this album is a classic, timeless classic, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite albums of all time. I remember I purchased this album in, like, I was late listening to it. Purchased it in, like, late 98, probably November, December of 98. And then I was listening to it from that time to, like, into 99, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, it was just like it's like a timeless joint, mad, just you could listen to the joint from start to finish, you know what I'm saying? So as you don't know, Pac is my favorite rapper of all time, you know what I mean? Like he's in this album is actually one of my inspirations for picking up a pen and a pad and starting to write rhymes, you know what I'm saying? After I heard this album, I was like, oh shit, I gotta start writing, because it was just banger after banger, and like I was just feeling every track, you know what I'm saying? Also, it was other reasons too, like hearing Nori's band from TV, Cannabis, and just how he was killing shit, you know what I mean? That cypher with Nori, Cannabis, and DMX in 98 on Hot 97, I remember I know that shit basically word for word, you know what I mean? It's other reasons too, but those are the three main reasons that stick out, you know what I'm saying, for me to start writing rhymes. So anyway, after that long intro, basically what I'm here for, and also it's been a minute since I've done these episodes, so I'll be coming back on, probably doing them, but not so often, like probably maybe once a month, because I took a break from doing it because just, you know, personal reasons, real life, you know, I was focusing on other things with music wise, and like the fetish business I'm running and other shit, you know what I'm saying? And then I also got a new background here in case you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Notice it, you know what I'm saying? Same shit, you know what I mean? That's here, like the pictures, the Bleak album, you know what I mean? Background, but like it's just in a different room. I figure I'll switch it up, you know what I mean? So, anyway, to get into this episode, I'm gonna tell a little history about this album. Now, this joint dropped February 13th, 1996, and it was Pac's first album release since getting out of prison in late 95, I believe in October. This was hip-hop's first double album, and set a trend that many other rappers followed, such as Notorious B.I.G. He dropped Life After Death in 97. Ice Cube dropped, I believe, the Peace and War joint, and I think in 98 he dropped that. Dropped Corruption in 98. Bone Thugs dropped Art of War in 97. Jay dropped Blueprint 2 in 02, I believe, and Nas dropped Streets Disciple in 04, I believe. There's more, but those are the main joints that come to mind. And as we all know, Pac was a trailblazer, so what he did, mad rappers followed. I think he set the tone for what the rappers looked like, sounded like in the late 90s. Like, that's how a lot of them look. Tattoos everywhere, bandanas, shirts off, showing muscles and shit, you know what I'm saying? And talking thug shit, you know what I mean? So Pac was a trailblazer, you know what I'm saying? A trendsetter, you know what I'm saying? You see, I got the bandana, the hoodie on, you know what I'm saying? All Eyez on Me hoodie. This was his trademark. And he had like that thug-like tag and shit, you know what I mean? So, this album sold 566,000 copies in its first week, peaked at #1 on Billboard 200, and was certified diamond. Over 10 million copies sold by the RIAA in 2014. Now, the impact of this album, the album was recorded in just 2 weeks following 2Pac's release from prison, defining the West Coast G-Funk sound in 96. And it was also his last album, like, during his lifetime that he actually saw release, you know, before he was, you know, murdered in September 96, you know what I'm saying? Also, this album was recently inducted into the Grammy Gala Hall of Fame, which is dope, you know what I'm saying? And, so just a lot of history with this album. Like as I said, it's a timeless classic, you know what I'm saying? And it's very, just banger after banger if you ask me, you know what I'm saying? Now, beginning with some of my favorite tracks. Some of my favorite tracks, Ambitious as a Rider, just classic, timeless. The hook is crazy. Daz laced that beat. that piano and that string, and then the drums, and then the hook is crazy. I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to a G. So many battlefield scars. I'm writing these rap bars. It's like without scars. Like, some shit like that. His flow was crazy. Was born rough and rugged. My attitude is fuck it, cause motherfuckers love it. I'm a soldier. Know what I mean? So that's just a timeless joint. That joint never get old. Know what I mean? Scandalous. Now I think that's the best opening track off any album. Ambitious Erotic. He set the tone with that shit. Scandalous. That's just a dope joint. Daz Lace that beat, one of my favorite beats. It has like that mandolin in it or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about like just scandalous chicks, and being older, that really hits because, you know, after being played by some chicks and shit like that, you know, and seeing how their nature is and shit. Shorty Wanna Be a Thug. That beat, Johnny J, rest in peace. Very underrated producer if you ask me. He laced that joint, and I always like that beat. And I use that sample for my song Letter to My Younger Self. I forgot what the sample is, but same sample that was for use for Shorty Wanna Be a Thug. And that beat is crazy. Know what I mean? Got My Mind Made Up. That's like some East Coast shit, like Cypher, Posse Cut. And Pop was on one on that with the lyrics. Like nigga was like, so mandatory, my elevation, my lyrics like orientation, so you could be more familiar with the nigga you facing, and highly flammable like gas station. Sorry I kept that ass waiting. Yeah. So he went off on there. Know what I mean? And Corrupt, I think, had the best verse though. Like he went off. Know what I mean? Only God Can Judge Me Now, and that hits hard being older and like, you know, having moments where, you know, moments of where the high power came. Just, you know, people judging just being fucking stupid. It's like, yo, who the fuck are you to judge me? Like, I don't care what you think. You ain't living my lifestyle. You ain't been through what I've been through. You ain't perfect and you ain't God. And you probably feel the same way about me, you know what I mean? So next one, Life Goes On is another banger. That joint hits hard, being older, losing people now in life, and you know what I mean. So like that woman on that hook killed that joint. Life goes on. Yeah. So and then he was in Pac was in the hook as well. No More Pain. That's another one I like. That Devontae, I believe, produced that, and that piano was crazy. It was like. And the drums was crazy on that. Like the kick drum was crazy. It was like thumping. Know what I mean? And then the hook, Pop used Method Man's joint. I came to bring the pain, hardcore from the brain. Let's go inside my astral plane. Yeah, he was on there. The energy was crazy. Nigga was like, say my name, watch this is calm. But California Love, the remix, and I actually like this one better than the original. Dre produced this, and I like how he added strings in it, and it was more like laid back. It had like more of a summer feel. It had like his strings in it, like, and then the bass line was different. So it was like a doper. It was like, I don't know. I like this version better than the original. And somehow the original version wasn't on the US album, I believe. I think it was just on the UK version of it, which is pretty strange. Next, I like Trade and War Stories. That was another dope one. That one, it was just like a posse cut with the Outlaws. That beat was crazy. Pop was he set it off. He was like, I can your mom picture a thug nigga drinking hard liquor. This ghetto life has got me catching up the guard quicker. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, his verse was crazy. I like the Hearts of Men. That was just like some lyrical shit. I think DJ Quick produced that beat, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Dial 911 and it's emergency. From hood to the birds, all you ghetto niggas hurting me, son, like that. Yeah, his flow was sick on there. You know what I'm saying? Next we got Two of America's Most Wanted. That was a single off here. That features Snoop Dogg and Pop killed that. he was like, picture perfect. I paint a perfect picture. Bomber, who choose good precision? My intentions get richer with the S and double OP. All my fucking hoes, you a cold ass nigga on them hoes. Showing up. I got my hand on my gun because it got me on the bum. You know what I mean? So the song was dope. They was just trading bars back and forth. Can't See Me, that was another fire cut. Dre produced that, and that joint, it was originally supposed to be for the Dog Pound, but then they wanted to give all the new beats to Pac since he was just on Death Row, and that beat was crazy, and Pac's energy killed it. No disrespect to them, but Pac was on one on that song. They weren't seeing his energy. You know what I'm saying? Holla at Me, that was a joint that had I think that was a subliminal diss to Biggie. And Pac's energy and flow was on one, and I like that beat a lot. And then the chick on there was fire too on the hook, and in the background, the alley. When We Ride is another posse cut. It had the Outlaws on it. I just like playing that track. You know, that beat was sick. Picture Me Rolling. I like that one because it was Pac, he was really on one on that and really trolling and poking fun at the haters and people that doubted him and wanted him to stay in prison. He was like, can you see me now? Can you get a clearer picture? Just look a little bit that way. You know what I'm saying? And then Danny Boy was in the hook. He killed that. Picture me rolling, picture me rolling. Oh yeah. Yo, what up to my nigga Sight? You know what I mean? That joint was hard. You know what I'm saying? And I think Johnny J produced that beat. Check Out Time. That's another joint I like. It's like on some chill shit. Reminds me of like summertime. I don't like to play that track when I'm like, don't have nothing on my agenda and shit like that. It's like good weather outside. Feel good track. All Eyes on Me. That's another dope one. Hook is crazy. All eyes on me, live my life as a thug nigga until the day I die. And boss and even when I'm high. And the shit is like Nas used that same beat for Street Dream. And I believe, obviously Pac's came out first because his album dropped earlier than it was written. And then Nas and Pac had that beef and shit, you know what I mean? So I don't know how Nas got that beat. Because it was basically the same shit. The drums weren't switched to nothing. You know what I'm saying? But then they eventually squashed this shit right before he had passed in September '96. Ain't Hard to Find was another dope one. That was like another posse cut, you know, that I like. Heaven Ain't Hard to Find was another good one. Danny Boy, I believe, was in that hook again. He killed it. Heaven ain't hard to find. No, I mean, what you call that? I also liked what was that other joint? It was a single off here, man. I Ain't Mad at You. That was a class. That's a classic. I ain't mad at you. It had Danny Boy was in that hook. Yeah, and then he, you know, the video was crazy, and it's crazy. I believe that video came out right after he had died, and then it had him in heaven with all of the other fallen, you know, people that was in heaven and shit, like musicians and famous people and shit. So that was really eerie, you know, when that dropped. You know what I'm saying? It's like he foreseen his own death and shit. But yeah, but like that, this one a little long, but I had to come on here with another episode and talk about this, you know what I'm saying? So as I said, like, it's more joints on there that I could talk about, but like these are just the main ones. Like, but to me it was just straight through just fire. You know what I'm saying? And people would say like, what's your phone number wasn't all that good, but like in my opinion, it was tight. You know what I mean? His flow was tight on that. You know what I mean? And then the little outro when he was like mom fucking the chick at the end, he was like, there's mere shit in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, he was on that one, you know what I mean? So that was funny as fuck. You know what I mean? But until next time, peace.